something. There's a huge, huge percentage of people, especially that are younger right now, that feel like they're not part of anything. They feel stifled. Or a reason they won't listen is you say, hey, here's this whole thing that's going on. And they say, that's great, so go do it.
Do it, yeah. Fix it for me.
Because people don't usually come up and say, hey, there's this thing going on. We have something for you to do. That's just not something that usually happens.
I've got a bunch of really bright kids that want to build a hydrogen fuel cell, and we don't have a lot of money, but we're wondering if there's any money available and what we can do to get funds to build a hydrogen fuel cell. And Neil phoned me back and left a message on my machine saying that if we could build this by April, he would fund a hydrogen fuel cell team for us to build the fuel cell and left that on my machine. And I was so excited that I called the kids up from the first floor and they all ran into the office, and I said, and it was really exciting because what it did was it showed the kids that if you have a passion and if you have the nerve, you can actually go out and do anything. And that's part of what this whole group is all about. So that particular team ended up building a hydrogen fuel cell with Schatz Energy Lab up at Humboldt State University. And Jay Keller was part of that process. He was working with the Department of Energy back then, and he oversaw the whole process. So he helped us select the engineers at Schatz to work with our 8th graders who knew nothing about fuel cells or chemistry or really science at that point, so it was really exciting. When the older kids went off to college, Jacqueline invited about 20 people to Merritt for a meeting to find out what kind of energy alternative would be the best viable energy back in 2003. Similar to Michael. Michael's the one who actually brought this whole thing to the forefront for us this time. Back in 2003, from alcohol fuels, solar energy, wind, all kinds of different technologies, and they all showed up to meet with Jacqueline, and she sat around, they all sat in a circle and they all talked about the different possibilities. And when they were done with the meeting, Jacqueline just said, it's definitely hydrogen, there's no doubt. So she went back into hydrogen and decided that she wanted to build a car to take gaseous hydrogen. And she started Kids for Hydrogen and started going to different conventions trying to push this idea. And she met Jay Keller at the Hollywood NHA conference, the National Hydrogen Association conference, and asked him to be her mentor, and he agreed to work with her. Her whole purpose for Kids for Hydrogen, the original Kids for Hydrogen, was to do outreach, to let people know that hydrogen is a viable energy carrier and that's something that we should use in the future. At that time in 2003, we as a society did not have the technology in place to do anything with it, so it was all theory. Fast forward to today, I met with Michael about 3 months ago, and he came to me, I'm his college advisor, and he wanted to talk about energy because he's really interested in engineering and electrical engineering, bioengineering, all kinds of engineering. And we started looking at different viable energy sources, and we talked about everything. During the meeting, Michael and I called Jay, and I asked him, I said, well, what would be the possible, what do you think is going to be the possible energy alternative that we should all go with, because I've got a student who's interested in moving forward with this. And he said, undoubtedly, and then hydrogen, and he explained why. And he told me the whole story about 2050, which he's going to describe today. So that is that's where we have come from, and this is what we're going to do. And Dr. Jay Keller's here to describe, to answer your questions and to help us point ourselves in a direction so that we can actually go out and make a difference. I would like to work as a team to figure out what parts of this project you would like to participate in. So we're looking for somebody who can put together the music video and the lyrics. We need videographers, we need people that can help with lyrics. We have the rights to the song in the year 2525, so we did get permission to use that. So we're going to go forward with that as the music base. And we also need somebody to do a lot of research, so we need somebody to work with Jay in terms of getting information so we have the absolutely, positively most accurate current facts. Everything we do has to be completely honest and completely true, and we'll be able to reach more people that way. So we need somebody to do our website, and Kendall's volunteered to do that, and that's why she's here today. So, anyhow, without further ado, this is Dr. Jay Keller.
So, I'd like to go around the room introduce yourselves.
My name is Kendall Ronzano. So I'm actually a junior in high school, and I'm really interested in the STEM fields, so science, technology, engineering, and math. In particular, forensics, computer science, and programming, and then also mechanical engineering.
I have a passion for engineering and for social sciences. I recently decided on a biological engineering for bachelor's. I like it because I think the field is coming out and developing, and I also like it because for graduate school I can go into either medical or psychological subjects.
Hi, I'm Zohar, and I'm a sophomore, and I have just been interested, I'm very interested in the sciences. I am potentially interested in engineering and physics, but I love the theoretical, like physics and stuff. When I was younger, I tried building a solar panel at one point, so I've always been into alternative energies and electric cars.
I'm Lexi, and I just started working with Susan, and she told me about this, and I was pretty interested, and she invited me to just sit in on this meeting so I could learn more about it, because I really don't know much about it yet.
My name is Peter Livingston. I'm a fourth-year engineering student. I've been working with Susan for about 6 years now.
So a little bit about me. Susan and I have known each other and played together now for quite some time. I'm now a consultant working straight away with the Hydrogen Fuel Cell Technology Office in DOE. I'm also a technical director for Fuel Cell and Hydrogen Energy Association, which is the new NHA. They combined with the Fuel Cell Council. So my professional degree is in engineering. It's mechanical engineering, and I focused on energy. I was on faculty for a year at UCSB, and I taught thermodynamics and transport. It was a wonderful year because I didn't have to do research. I left UCSB and went to Sandia National Laboratories, where I worked for about 30 years in energy. I owned the hydrogen program at the lab at large since about 1994. So you can do the math, that's a while. Okay? And I just recently left, but I've had the opportunity to work straight away with the Department of Energy, which is something that I'm enjoying a great deal. What does it take to build a hydrogen infrastructure? Who's doing it? Well, as it turns out, back in 2003, which our then president just woke up and said, what can I do in energy? And he put forward what was then known as the Freedom Car program to build and put hydrogen fuel cells on the road in 2015. 2015 is a magic number. That was the commercialization date. So we're 3 years away. We tried eventually to get the energy companies, Chevron, Shell, Mobil, these kinds of people involved. They never were quite as involved as they should be. But nonetheless, a number of the automobile manufacturers around the world have made commitment. General Motors, Ford, Daimler Chrysler, Toyota, Mazda, Hyundai, and the ones I can think of right off the top of my head, Honda. They've made commitment to put fuel cell vehicles on the road. They already have models, those are our demonstration models. When I say putting a vehicle on the road, I'm talking about a serial production line.